If it's not going to zero, it's going to 1 million. Eventually, Google and Apple will embrace it. And when Google or Apple embraces Bitcoin and Apple puts some sort
Bitcoin to $1 million? It's possible, according to Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy and one of the biggest Bitcoin bulls in the world. In this exclusive interview, Saylor reveals his secret plan for how Bitcoin could reach this astronomical price point. Saylor's plan is based on the idea that Bitcoin is a digital asset with a limited supply and a growing demand. As more and more people adopt Bitcoin, its price will inevitably go up. Saylor also believes that Bitcoin is the best way to protect your wealth from inflation and other economic risks. So, what is Saylor's secret plan? In this video, he shares his insights on the future of Bitcoin and how you can position yourself to profit from its rise. If you're interested in learning more about Bitcoin and its potential to reach $1 million, then this video is for you. Watch now to hear Michael Saylor's secret plan. Let's get started.
I've said many times before, I've said, if it's not going to zero, it's going to 1 million. The reason it would go to zero is it's illegitimate or getting banned. And so the question is it illegitimate? Well, obviously not. It's an asset without an issuer. It's the world's first digital commodity and the greatest digital commodity. It's the only globally acknowledged digital commodity. There is controversy about everything else. Bitcoin is the one non-controversial thing. So it is a legitimate asset. And is it being banned? Obviously not. The Chinese haven't banned it. It's deemed property in China. The Russians haven't banned it. It's property in Russia. The Americans haven't banned it. It's property in America. All of the controversy in our marketplace right now is surrounding crypto exchanges, the trading of unregistered securities, other tokens, and stable coins. And then the usage of these crypto tokens as a high-speed dollar substitute, a currency substitute. There's lots of controversy there. There will continue to be controversy. It is unclear how all that sorts itself out, except for the fact that there are two great conclusions you can come to over the past 24 months. Wall Street, the regulators, and the mainstream investment community endorses Bitcoin and appreciates Bitcoin. And everybody's skeptical of the rest of the crypto ecosystem, right? Bitcoin, yes. Crypto, not so sure. So that's where we are right now. I have met with lots of executives from these companies that are bringing spot ETFs to market. I can tell you for a fact, nobody wants to fix Bitcoin. Nobody wants to change Bitcoin. They've approached it with humility. They've approached it with grace. Their view is Bitcoin is a digital asset. People in the world seem to want it. We should do our part to provide services to make it easy to acquire and hold Bitcoin. In time, right, the first and easiest step and the most critical step is that spot ETF. It's like a power line for hundreds of billions of dollars of capital to flow into the ecosystem. But eventually, Google and Apple will embrace it. And when Google or Apple embraces Bitcoin and Apple puts some sort of Bitcoin signing device into the iPhone, there will be some people that will be skeptical and they will say, oh, we could trust Apple, and that's reasonable. And other people will say, oh, it's an option for the masses to know how to operate their own hardware wallet. And there'll be a debate, and then there'll be an avalanche, and then Apple, the Amazon will do something, and then Microsoft will build it into their browser, and then people will hate that. And then some other company will come up with a better Bitcoin-only one, and we'll like that. And maybe they'll succeed and they'll grow. It'd be 10 or 100x, and maybe they won't. And then maybe at some point we'll wake up and there'll be $4 billion, which will be of 4 billion people. And they will self-custody some amount of their own Bitcoin. And then they will have other Bitcoin that will be in an ETF in their retirement plan because their employer required that they actually have their retirement plan with a securities custodian. And the world will be heterogeneous. And we should embrace everybody that supports Bitcoin, however they support Bitcoin. You won't agree with them. Maybe you won't like that nation, and you won't like that company, and you won't like that money manager. And you will always have the option to do your own thing, and that's what makes Bitcoin beautiful. But we shouldn't actually discourage people that want to bring their resources to bear. And if you have $10 trillion worth of client money, and currently they can't invest in Bitcoin, and you rewire your systems to allow them to buy Bitcoin, then you're a friend of Bitcoin. You're not an enemy of Bitcoin. Until someone says, oh, by the way, we also want to change the protocol, right? They're our friend. When they decide they want to change the protocol or fix Bitcoin, then you have to take a different position. But I can say from personal knowledge, nobody on Wall Street wants to fix Bitcoin. They just want to be they want to join the party. They want to be helpful.
Michael Saylor emphasizes the distinct position of Bitcoin amidst the greater cryptocurrency ecosystem. This distinctiveness derives from its non-controversial, globally acknowledged status. With big tech companies like Google and Apple set to potentially integrate Bitcoin into their platforms, the adoption wave seems unstoppable. Moreover, a recurring theme is the differentiation between Bitcoin and the wider, sometimes controversial, crypto ecosystem. But why is Bitcoin seen as such a distinct entity? Is it merely because it was the first, or is there more to it? As we reflect on this, consider how the endorsement from global giants and the mainstream investment community will shape the future of Bitcoin and the crypto world at large.
What you have is a question, is Bitcoin a commodity or not? That has been resolved over the past 24 months via the endorsement of 2 heads of the SEC. It has been underscored by speeches by the head of the EU Central Bank, the head of the US Central Bank, the head of the Treasury, Janet Yellen. It's been implied, if not stated, in statements by the White House. It has been endorsed by leading Republican candidates like Ron DeSantis and leading Democratic candidates like Robert Kennedy. It has been endorsed and underscored by senators like Cynthia Lummis and Ted Cruz. That's probably the greatest achievement of the past 24 months. So what you have is a sequence of activities by politicians, by regulators, and by the legal profession. I left out judges, lawyers, but more importantly, judges who have actually acknowledged Bitcoin as a commodity.